Hello, welcome back. Mike from Canavan Wealth. This article just went up on the website under the blog section here, market news. Go to blog and get there. Uh, it is about kind of investing, as you near retirement. As a whole, this article is a giant advertisement, in my opinion, for financial planning with a professional. Specifically, this part down here about RMDs. There is so much to RMDs and tax planning and everything that goes on with retirement accounts. That could be its whole video. That's not really what I want to talk about. First, I want to talk about the kind of financial planning process. Can you plan for your own retirement? Absolutely. And a lot of people do very well, kind of turn it into a little hobby. There's lots of good information out there. There's also lots of bad information out there, in my opinion. But for a lot of folks, this is probably the number one value, I think, that working with a financial investment advisor, planner, whatever you want to call us, really comes to is when you are, talking about your own retirement, looking at all the things that go into that: Social Security, Medicare, pensions, healthcare costs, estate planning. It's nice to do it with a person who's done it several hundred times before through lots and lots of households and lots of conversations. And I certainly haven't seen it all, but I've seen a lot. So, but what I really want to talk about with this article is this section here about allocating your retirement assets. They talk about this glide path strategy. So everybody's probably like, why do you post articles that you don't agree with? Well, I can't change any of these articles. And for the simple truth is a lot of these articles are on the website for search engine optimization. So I actually use them as a way to talk about little concepts. And this one specifically about, if you're a 40-year-old, you should have at least 60% of your portfolio in stock. But if you're 70-year-old, you want no more than 30 in stocks. I think this is garbage, to be perfectly honest. And my last seminar, which you can watch, I'll put the link in the description, was all about risk. And I think if you're a 70-year-old and you're putting only 30% of your portfolio in stocks, which means 70% is going into, effectively bonds or fixed income equivalents is what they're assuming there. I think you are opening yourself up to way more risk than simply having a much better diversified portfolio. Specifically, over the last 15 years, the bond market has not been an attractive investment with both low interest rates, meaning it doesn't really return much, and the fact that when interest rates are low and they go up, you lose face value, which we've seen over the last 18 months. And it has been kind of a disaster in the bond market. But the important thing to understand is that may not be the case for the next 14 years, right? The last 14 years, 15 years, really, from 2008, the kind of end of the global financial crisis in 2009 to where we are now, is kind of a nice digestible chunk. And I think we are very much in a transitionary period where we do not know what the next 10 to 14 years is going to look like, specifically around interest rates, right? Right now, as of recording this video, I think the Fed funds rate is at about 4.8. The stated goal is to get it to about 5 to 5.5. So we're getting close to that. But the Fed has also stated that after that, their goal is to get the Fed funds rate back below 2%. Whether they do that, we don't know. We won't know that for probably 12 to 18 months from now. And even then, it's going to be questionable about whether they're able to keep it that low, whether that becomes the new norm and we go through an 8-year period of extremely low interest rates again. But even if we do get the Fed funds rate back below 2%, the next 15 years are not going to look like the last 15 years because of this, big downturn that we just went through, and we just don't know where the interest rates are going to fall out. So you really should, if you're interested in this topic, you really should watch the webinar that I did on risk that I already said I'm going to link below, because it talks about this transitionary period and the fact that, if you were just in fixed income for the last 10 years, you probably lost money. And it's not simply a discussion of, you can't afford to not keep up with inflation, or you're willing to give up less returns than the stock market for less volatility. There's just a ton of volatility in the bond market in all of the most recent downturns, and I'm not sure it provides the protection that it has in the past. It doesn't mean that it shouldn't be a part of your portfolio, absolutely. But just to make a blanket statement that a 70-year-old should have no more than 30% of their portfolio in stocks, I think, is grossly oversimplified to what a real discussion around risk with a real financial professional would tell you. That is it. I'm going to throw out my kind of end slide here as I try and become a more proficient YouTuber. If you do like the video, liking it not only helps me, but also helps other people discover it. If you want to see more content like this, please subscribe to the channel. Any questions, send those to mike@canavanwealth.com. And my next seminar is going to be April 19th at 10 a.m. It's on the new middle class. You can register for that on the webinar, where you can also find the article that we just, or not on the webinar, on the website, canavanwealth.com, where you can also find the article we were talking about and kind of links to everything else that I do. I hope this has been informative. I will talk to you soon. Thank you.